Alright, continuing with manipulation, we are getting to the fourth of 6 topics, looking at operant conditioning. Alright, so 2 lessons, and we should really be spending 5 minimum on operant conditioning and classical conditioning, but 2 is all the time we have for, really, which is a bit of a shame. We will come back to operant conditioning. I tried to link it to addiction and treatments. Contingency management uses the principles of operant conditioning, so there is a chance there to review these concepts. Alright, so rewards and punishments, schedules of reinforcement. Alright, so we're looking at rewards and punishments. What is operant conditioning and how can it change behavior? Bit of a Kahoot, so this reviews the first 3 topics. Think, pair, share. Have they ever trained a pet animal? Okay, a lot of students would have trained their pet dog how to sit. If so, how'd they do it? If not, how do you think you'd do it? So I've been teaching operant conditioning for the last few years here in New Zealand. It's part of the curriculum, and this is a classic. Watching rats play basketball, hilarious. Okay, now we get into the how would you train the rats to put the ball in the hoop? And their simple answer, and I would preempt them from saying, well, every time they put the ball in the hoop, give them a reward, because you've got to remind them, look, there's no way you could put a rat in that little basketball court with a ball, and it will never go and pick up the ball and put it in a hoop. So it will require more steps. Can they think through this? And so then we talk operant conditioning. That was the best image ChatGPT could give up for me. This is really important, knowing that reinforcement increases, punishment decreases. If they can master that distinction, that's the first step in explaining operant conditioning really well. I didn't put shaping in the textbook. I think I wanted to avoid overloading content, but it links back to the rat study really well. Okay, take a complex behavior, because if they can remember the rats playing basketball and explain shaping and positive reinforcement, that's their short answer question done, right? So if they like the rat playing basketball one, shaping is really useful. This is when you break it down into specific steps, and here I give you an example. Okay, so how they would have rewarded and reinforced every step along the way. Whenever I say we're going to watch pigeons play table tennis, students imagine pigeons holding a paddle under their wing, and then they're disappointed when they see it tapping with its beak. I think that might be Skinner's original voice in that video. Now the question, can we use this on humans? I wanted to link to classroom behavior here. This is the example in the textbook, and it's I would say, in my opinion or in my knowledge, the most widely applied examples of operant conditioning is in behavior management. So the biggest influence in schools. Behaviorism, I think, has been very influential in schools. And so trying to hook students in, saying, look, we're trying to help students improve their behavior. You can watch the first 2 minutes of this, or you can watch the full 5 minutes to get the full extent of the issue. It's basically out of control behavior. And think, pair, share. Why? Why do you think the problem's getting worse? And then we can see, okay, well, can we use operant conditioning to create behavior management strategies for teachers? So this is not only getting them to comprehend operant conditioning, it's also really practice for that applied short answer question, section B of paper 1. Encourage them to use those 4 principles. And this is an example where sometimes I don't want to explain things first. I want to get students to read and engage with it and use it and comprehend it for themselves, and then I will explain it afterwards. Put the slide in here just to make sure they're on the right track. You just might want to check in. What behaviors are they trying to prevent and promote? You can share ideas. Students might pick and steal some ideas. That's fine. And how could they use positive reinforcement before going into the next 3? Gallery walk. I added this one to the lesson plan. Students, just leave your pen and paper, walk around the room and read what other people have come up with. Do you want to steal any ideas? Okay, share as a class, read and compare from the original, and then you can chalk talk if you like. Okay, so here are some common behavior management strategies in the classroom. All right, so quick review. I mean, if they can comprehend this, reinforcement increases, punishment decreases, positive adds, negative takes away. That's pretty basic. So now if you just add any of these terms together, negative punishment, negative reinforcement, they should be able to figure out and explain what those things mean. Coming up with examples here actually might be a bit trickier. Negative punishment can be, or positive punishment, additive punishment can be pretty tricky to come up with an example of. Anyway, hopefully they've finished their notes. If they can explain and apply these principles, then they've hit the outcome. Now, in the homework, because there's loads of terminology here, I've tried something new where I've grouped key terms by difficulty, and we'll get into this more in the next lesson, so students can figure out what goal am I aiming for, and then so what words do I need to know. I feel like this might help them guide their revision, because not every student's aiming for a 7. For some students, a 5 would be fantastic. I don't think they need to know about variable ratio reinforcement schedules, because if they try to remember every word in this textbook, they're going to be overwhelmed. So we can target their revision and give them some guidance with specific goals. I think that's going to work. We'll see. Right, dinner table talk. Share what they learned about operant conditioning and ask their parents, did they ever use any of those strategies on them? Next lesson, we will get into schedules of reinforcement, and we'll look at this in social media.